Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. I'm Jenna, and this is my baby daddy, Francisco. Hi.
Hi.
Hola.
How are you?
Well, I'm a little bit frustrated this morning because I don't know if I mentioned last week, I decided that I'm being a version of myself that I don't like, and it finally dawned on me, like, I don't know if you do this, maybe you don't. I talk to myself sometimes and I go, Jenna, if you were a friend of yours and your friend was saying this, what would you tell your friend, right? Like, I give myself advice that I would give to a friend.
That's very mature.
So I've been bitching a lot just kind of about my appearance or just not feeling like myself, being 4.5 or so months postpartum, and, my clothes don't fit, and then we're going on vacation. I want to buy new stuff, just the superficial stuff, but women get it after having a baby. It's just tough, but then again, I'm tired of complaining about it because that's just not the type of person I usually am with my body. Like, I'm usually not always bitching about being fat or feeling ugly. And it's just something about having a baby makes you just go through it. And so it's just that kind of hurts your confidence, and I don't want to be that person. I like to inspire women and I like to own it.
I think you're amazing. I think you look amazing. But however, I think bitching not only hurts your self-confidence, it doesn't help.
Profound, Fran.
Yeah.
That was profound.
Doesn't help the way that your friends look at you, like the because they see this is strong woman, Jenna. And when you bitch about that, it's like,
well, it's just who I am right now. It's just part of being real and honest about the experience.
But something that is funny
thanks for letting me know.
Is that we were with a bunch of dads for 4th of July, and they were all bitching about the same thing. We haven't all lost our
you bitch about it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I said to myself, I'm going to stop bitching because nothing's going to change unless I decide to take some action and really start working out. But I think most women know it's not easy at all. Like, working out's never been easy, but it's especially hard when you have a baby and you have work and you're really tired every morning. So, but I just told myself in the last couple of weeks, I'm going to do this. So, I bought containers. I've meal prepped. Not like super diet food, but just healthy. So I have good food ready to go. And it's been a grind and I don't enjoy doing it. But I decided I'm going to go work out. I'm going to do this and I'm just going to stick with it for a few weeks and see. And so, Fran, this all was stemmed, actually. This all got brought up because of what you did only a week ago. You pulled a scale out that I hadn't seen in a year. And he stood on the scale. And then he's on the scale and I see him like he's totally naked. Then he takes off his watch. And I'm like, oh, I know shit's getting real right now because he's like, this watch for sure weighs a couple pounds. And I'm like, yeah. So he takes off the watch and it does like nothing to the scale. And he is not even overweight in the slightest. And so I was like, well, fuck, like I'm going to stand on the scale and see where I'm actually at because I haven't been weighed since shortly after I went to the doctor for that 6-week appointment. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still a good like 15 pounds above my normal, like healthy Jenna weight, like my pre-baby weight. So we looked at each other and how much did you want to lose? Like 10?
I want to lose
Not
around 10. Not 10. Okay. I just want to start toning up. Like I'm between toning, tanning, or just creating a new trend, making the dad bod fashionable again.
I think that's always been a trend. I think most dads have a dad bod.
Yeah, but like a good trend, like you have parameters, like created it with like strong in the inside, a little fluff in the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like
mentally strong.
Mentally and a little physically strong.
I think you look great. So I just decided I'm just going to stop. I haven't been bitching or talking about it. I'm just doing it. I've worked out almost every single day. As much as I can.
You've been doing
I'm really tired.
hardcore workouts.
I have. And eating really good. And you eat all the food that I prepped plus more.
Plus so that's more and more.
Yeah. And so anyway, so he brings the scale out this morning. So it's been, we've only been doing this for a few days, right? But of course, you want to see some results. So he brings out the scale this morning. I've worked out 4 times, been eating super clean. He stands on the scale. I wasn't going to weigh myself today, but he stands on the scale and he's like,
no watch.
no watch. And I hear him like do a little victory, like fist pump kind of thing. He's like, yes. And then he gets in the shower. I'm like, oh shit, I guess I'll get on the scale. I never weigh myself. So this is very out of character for me, but I have to if I want to see some progress. And he goes, I was like, did you lose weight? And he's like, you lost what?
So I said like 0.6. And you said you lost 6 pounds? Like,
I about died, y'all. And women get it. Like, I about died. Of course, this fucker not working out and post-eating after my meal prep would lose 6 pounds. No, he lost 0.6 pounds. And I get on the scale and I think I've like gained a pound. I'm like, what?
Well, you have to gain before you lose.
Yeah, it's just going to fall off tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like
I've just been bulking up.
It's like,
yeah.
peaks and valleys.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's really not that big of a deal, but I just know I'm going to feel better. Like I do feel better right now. I feel mentally sharper and I feel just physically, I'm feeling stronger because I mean, Remy is no little cupcake. Like he's a little chunk and, you know, to hold a 17-pound baby and rock him as he's going to sleep and my arms standing up, like I get really tired.
He's already, on the program of the strong on the inside, a little fluff in the outside.
Yeah.
He's following.
He's growing a lot.
Daddy steps.
So I think, anyway, no, I think I'm just going to feel a lot better mentally. And you know, a sponsor of our podcast, Fran, which is a really great program, is Noom. And I think that what I've realized as a woman is that a lot of eating is psychological, right? Like I tend to eat more when I'm stressed out and if I'm sad, which fortunately at this point in my life, I'm not sad. I'm very happy, but I eat more when I'm happy. You know, when I'm depressed, I tend to not eat, but either way, it's just very unhealthy, right? It's a lot of this is tied up psychologically. Like when do you snack, Fran? Like when do you find yourself snacking?
You want to know the honest truth? Anytime that I have food around.
So it's the presence of food. Or no, I see you snacking more at night. But the thing about Noom is they use a psychology first approach. So they're going to help you build more sustainable habits and behaviors. They've actually to date helped more than 3.6 million people lose weight. And the cool thing about Noom with their stats, it shows that this isn't some like fad crash diet sort of scenario. These people are actually keeping weight off for a year or more because you're learning better habits. Why do you eat when you eat? What are you eating?
Yeah, they're going to the core of the problem.
Exactly. So, you know, everyone's journey is very different. So you're going to get daily lessons when you sign up. It's going to be personalized to you and your goals. They're going to help you understand your relationship with food as part of this program. And this is non-restrictive, right? So this isn't like you can only eat 100 calories a day. No. They're going to help you go ahead and continue to eat the kinds of foods that you like to eat, but they're going to support you along the way. So it's going to help having more flexible progress. But active Noomers lose an average of 15 pounds in 16 weeks, and 95% of the customers have said Noom weight is a good long-term solution. Anyway, stay focused on what's important to you with Noom Weight's psychology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com/Fitish. That's NOOM.com/Fitish to sign up for your trial today. So we'll see. We'll see, won't we, how this goes. I think for me, I just need to kind of stay committed to healthier choices and exercising as frequently as I can for like a month. And, you know, we'll see how it goes. I fit into my fat jeans yesterday.
Hey, you look so sexy.
I don't know. Does everyone have fat jeans?
I do.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. I do have fat jeans.
Like you have that pair of jeans that like only fits on fat days.
Yes.
I fit into my fat jeans.
That's amazing.
Other jeans, not even close, but I fit into my fat jeans.
I haven't even tried jeans. Like jeans are not in my horizon right now, and it sounds super gay.
It is summer season.
But like I'm being easy on myself. But I'm ADD. So our beach vacation, it's in the end of July.
Beach. He said beach, not bitch.
Our playa vacation, it's in the end of July, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start getting like into not eating and working out 3 times a day. Like maybe 5 days before then.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
I had too far to go. I had to start now.
Oh, babe,
yeah.
I'm...
You're just annoying. He's going to work out a few times right before we go on a trip and have like a 6-pack.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm going to have a 6-pack.
I mean it though. I'm not trying to be super vain, but I just think we get a lot of questions about our intimacy, and obviously, like, we haven't had a lot of intimacy lately. I want to, and then we just like go to sleep at night, and I think we need to make time. Like,
you go to your room, I go to my room.
Yeah, but I think that will help me a lot too. Just getting back to feeling like sexier and stronger and more confident, and having more energy. Isn't it funny? Like at least, I don't know about you. I don't want to speak for you and your fatherhood, but I look forward to the evening because like yesterday I had a great day with Remy. I actually got to spend a lot of time with him. I took him to see my dad, which I think was really great. My dad's dad passed away last week, and my dad's home alone right now because his wife, my stepmother, and the kids are in Europe. And so I thought my dad's the type of person that would never admit that he's lonely or has feelings or anything like that. Like he's very kind of stoic but I felt the need to go see him. So I took Remy and had my dad feed Remy, and Remy was in such a great mood and caught up with my dad for a couple hours. It was so nice, that we got that alone time together. And I came home, and then Fran and I have a good routine at night. Like I give Remy spa night, a bath, even though I'm like very tired of kneeling down and bending over. I had to get like the old woman like knee pads for the side of the bathtub.
No, I saw.
Oh, it's made my life. If you're doing it every night,
It
you're
looks
uncomfortable,
amazing.
like you should fix it. So I give him a spa night, then Fran feeds him and puts him down, and then we like reconnect in the kitchen or on the couch. And last night I was meal prepping and cooking dinner, and it was just a shit show. And then our dishwasher's broken, so then I had to do like all the dishes by hand. I was just so fucking tired. Like that was it. And I'm so glad the kitchen's clean. Like I'm glad I did it because this morning that kitchen was so clean. I was like, this is amazing. But it was like 9:00 before I sat down on the couch, and we turned a television show on. Y'all, I'm not even kidding. I make it 5 minutes and I'm sound asleep. Like I'm just so excited. I look forward to this period of time that Francisco and I get to hang out. Yet I don't make it 5 minutes, and then I sleep for about an hour on the couch, and then I wake up and we look at each other, and it's like, all right, I think we should do it. Like he goes downstairs and I go upstairs, and we're like, good night.
So, 2 things. You've been amazing at cooking. Like I'm very thankful. Like you have been.
No, I hate it. Can we talk about this? I don't want to do it anymore. I hate it.
No, babe, don't stop. You're doing a great job, and you've been doing a great job at like meal prepping and cooking dinner and stuff like that. Like it's been amazing. And number 2 is I've been sleeping like 4 hours a day, 5, and I envy the way that you sleep in the couch. Because
why don't you? You're on your phone. If you put your phone down, you'd snooze right away.
You think?
Yeah.
Because I do that. And it just takes me a minute. Takes me a minute to like.
I think it's the phone. I've started doing less phone. I mean, I get sometimes you're working and I am, and we like want to fuck around on the phone. But like when I go up at night, I mean, every now and then I'll look at something for a minute, but I like look at the time on it and I give myself like, okay, Jenna, you want to look at TikTok because you haven't looked at it all day, or you want to look at something, social media or email or whatever. I give myself like 10 minutes on my clock and I put my phone down after that. Like I just have that discipline. It's helped me so much. Like I fall asleep like instantly. I just have started to kind of limit myself, which it's hard because you can just get so caught up in scrolling around on whatever it is, online shopping or doing anything, So yeah, I've started to really limit that to try and just like rest, even though it's hard because I want to keep doing it, but it's helped me so much. I sleep so much better.
Yeah. No, and I've been on waves because there's times that I sleep amazingly that I just go put my head down and fall asleep. But lately it's just been like tossing and turning.
Do you feel anxious about taking Remy on his first flight and trip?
Not at all. I feel more anxious about spending almost 10 days with my whole entire family.
Really? Why?
I haven't done it in a while,
You did it without me.
I was there for 3 days.
Well, what am I missing here?
Well, you will see. Whatever you're missing, you're not going to miss it.
So our plan, our one vacation we're doing this year, I mean, we had a baby.
Well, it's not going to be the only one, I'm sure.
I mean, it's sure looking like it. It might be. But I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Because we've been looking for a house. I'm fine. It's a lot having a baby. Like, I prefer to stay home with him. I don't mind it. But We're going to go to Mexico City for a couple days. I'm taking my mom, and then Fran has a sister and a brother, and your sister has a husband and 3 children, and then your mom and your dad. And your brother might have a girlfriend, TBD, we're not sure, like the status of their relationship, it's kind of one of those. So anyway, they got the invite. So we rented a home in Puerto Escondido, which is like way south in Mexico. I selfishly did this because I always have wanted to go there. I mean, I say selfishly. I chose the location because I've always wanted to go there. But we're taking all of your family. So it's a house. I mean, it's a house. And
it's my mom's 60th birthday. So
yeah. And I know that I've never done a vacation like this. And Fran looked at me and was like, this isn't a vacation. Like, we're going to go stay in Mexico City with my parents for a few days and and my mom's coming. But to me, it sounds like something I've always wanted to do because I don't have a big family and I love his family and it's his mom's birthday. And it was kind of a way, like, I want to say thank you for her staying with us for a couple of months and helping us at a time that, I mean, her staying with us to help us with Remy was just the coolest thing.
I think was lifesaver.
And my mom's doing it now.
Yeah, no. Your mom is, I think both of our moms have saved our lives in different moments of Remy's life because.
And I think this is just such a nice thing to do for them. And I recognize that it's not a vacation like you and I going on some romantic weekend to Cabo, but like, we wouldn't be doing that right now anyway. We want to travel with Remy. And now we have 2 grandmas to help us. So if you and I want to escape and go to dinner or do something.
Or go to Cabo. Or
no. But I don't know. So anyway, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm a little anxious about like flying and then flying again and with Remy.
I think Remy's going to help you to lose your...
I don't think Remy's going to help me with anything. I think Xanax is going to help me and that I have you and my mom on the plane. Y'all are taking care of my baby son and I am going to drug myself.
Yeah.
If I was alone with Remy, I couldn't do that. But I have 2 of y'all, so I'm out. So don't even sit by me.
No, we're all indifferent.
Grandma and Remy, y'all are over there because he's going to feel my nervous energy. I do not think he's going to chill me out. I think I'm going to be terrified that we're all going to die together. That's how I feel.
But that's the best way of dying.
If y'all have any tips for traveling with an infant, we would greatly appreciate it. Like, are we bringing the stroller? Do you have all these things that we got to figure out?
It's funny, but because every time that we had a road trip, the whole family, I always like, when I was a kid, I was like, I always thought if we die right now, it'd be okay because we're all together. But when my parents were flying by themselves, I had anxiety.
I agree with you. I mean, I'd rather us all be together for sure, but like it still remains that I would prefer to not die.
Not die, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's preferable.
No, you take care of Remy. Y'all do your own thing. I'm gonna take some medicine.
He's my plus one.
I'm gonna knock myself out. I'm gonna put my Raycon earbuds in and just tune y'all out and try and focus on my
Those
flying
things
anxiety.
Are amazing.
I know. I actually threw mine in the other day because I went on a wog. Can I call it a wog? That's where you walk and you jog a little bit, but you mostly walk.
I call it a rock.
A what?
A rock.
A walk?
A rock.
A rock.
It sounds better, like a running walk.
Okay. Well, yeah. To each their own, but something we do agree on. We love our Raycons, and these are just everyday earbuds. Look, feel, sound better than ever. Different size little gel tips, depending on your ear, because I have small ear holes.
Yeah.
So sometimes certain earbuds haven't fit in my ears very well because everyone's always told me I have small ears. I didn't realize I had
sport ones. Doesn't matter what you do, they will not come off your ear.
Yeah, these are called, if you're looking, the Raycon Everyday Earbuds. 8 hours of playtime, a 32-hour battery life. That's something else I love is I had used them, a week prior. I opened them up to go on a run, and a week or two's gone by, and they still have like full battery life.
Amazing.
I love that. I love because nothing's worse than like popping open some like headphones and being like, oh wait, I'm not going to work out now because I don't know about you. I have to have music when I exercise, and you're going to get super quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. 50,000 5-star reviews, 3 customizable sound profiles, the tap functions on the earbud, noise isolation, which is great for flying, and an awareness mode. Go to buyraycon.com/Fitish today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's BUYRAYCON.com/Fitish to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/Fitish. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I told Francisco this week, I had this realization And, him and I are obviously on different pages because I'll express to him when I just really want some like empathy. I'll be like, man, like I miss you, I miss you. And he's like, it's what we signed up for. I'm like, I know, but I think I just want someone to commiserate with me sometimes. Cause some days I'm feeling great. Like yesterday was a great day. Remy was in a great mood. I had a great day. And some days I'm just like stressed about work or selfishly, I don't have enough time to myself. And I'm still trying to kind of navigate what my new life is like. And I think I'm just more in my feelings than Fran is. Like Fran, you just tend to kind of, and I know it's more of a dude thing, obviously, but like you just kind of accept the moment for what it is. Like, here's the moment, and if you're in a bad mood, you also don't even really acknowledge it or recognize it. So then I'm like, what's wrong? Like, you're being short, something's wrong. And you're like, nothing. I'm like, clearly something's fucking wrong, but he hasn't even accepted it within his own self yet and addressed it. But I say that because I finally had this realization over the long weekend of, you can't really go back. You know what I mean? Like, we can't, no, like, not you go back, but like,
you cannot stick that monkey into your BJJ again.
Not like that, man. Like, you can't go. I think that for a while now, I don't know what I expected, that you would just go, okay, I got this shit figured out, right? Like, yeah, my life's going to be the same. I'm just going to be carting around a baby all the time. No, like everything revolves around him, from his nap schedule to eating, which is fine. But, we talked a lot about, like, I have a membership at a pool at this place, right? And we don't use it. I literally pay, hundreds of dollars a month to not use this place. And we keep thinking about how we're going to cancel it. And then we're like, no, because as he gets a little bit older, it's going to be great. They have a kids club.
We have friends that signed up.
And they have older kids, and like the kids can go play, and they have like tennis lessons and like a playroom for the kids and the pool, of course, and all of these features that would be amazing. But right now he's so young. And so Fran and I talked it up. Like, we're going to go one day this weekend. We're going to Remy loves the pool now. He likes to swim around. We're going to do it. But then we start kind of going through the logistics of it. You're like, this idea fucking sucks. This is a garbage idea. This place is 20 minutes away. We're going to pack all this shit. We're going to get out there. And then it's sunny and it is brutally hot. It's like, we literally are living in hell. And then he's going to be in there for 20 minutes happy. And then we're going to be like, okay, well now it's nap time. And he's not going to nap outside in the heat. And there's nowhere, like no break to go inside other than the restaurant. So it's like, it'd just be a lot. So, having a pool at your house or apartment is like the better option because you can just like go and go back inside. So, of course, we decided to not go again, another weekend that we're not using this place. But I just finally realized, I was like, we got to stop. Like, we got to stop planning things like the things we used to do or that we would used to want to do on a long weekend, right? Because like, that's not really where we're at anymore. It's like, we got to plan the things that make the most sense with the lowest amount of drama potential for us, that we can go to a friend's house who has a child the exact same age as Remy. They have all the baby stuff there. We can hang out for a bit and they totally get it when all of a sudden we're like, peace, like we're out of here. I think that's just the better fit for us right now.
I agree. I think,
and maybe you realized that long before I did, but I think you set yourself up for disappointment with a child trying to be like, oh, like, I want to go to this sporting event or these things that we used to do or a concert. It's like, no, we just gotta.
The things that the handicap that I had compared to you is that I have seen my sister going through it. And I've seen close friends going through it, but especially my sister. Like, my sister has a teen something and a teen something, like a 12 and a 13.
Yeah.
And I think that brought a lot of light on
like what she
to
was
expect.
Not able to do. You mean
yes,
it's not a handicap, it's an advantage.
Yes.
You had an advantage.
Well, like I'm talking like golf wise, like a advantage.
Yeah. You had bonus strokes.
Yes.
Got it.
Like a higher handicap.
That's usually not how you would use the word handicap when you're talking.
No, I know.
It's
no,
usually
but like
a disadvantage.
Yeah, but when you're talking about golf, like if you have a higher handicap, you're better, right?
Sure.
And
I mean, that's actually also not true. Like you would be like if the higher the handicap you have, you're not better. Like if you're a scratch golfer, you have a 0. But okay, that's another conversation.
Anyhow, so I think
I get what you're saying because you got to see a sibling go through this already.
I didn't have any, like, none of what we have been living has come as a surprise. Like, it hasn't been like the second that we started trying to get pregnant, I saw our life where it was going to be. And the only surprises that I have had are really pleasant because, and this sounds super annoying, but I'm way more happier than I've ever thought I was about to be. I know I was about to be very happy, but like, it's just the amount of joy that whatever he restricts you from doing, the joy that he brings is in a different level.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you feel that way.
And that's all I got.
I'm so glad you feel that way. No, I genuinely mean it. I mean, I get annoyed because he's like, you're never annoyed. So that annoys me. Does that make sense? I'm annoyed that you're never annoyed.
Annoyed by what?
That all sometimes just, and Remy's been great lately, so it's different. But when you have days that like the child's upset, or I mean, I had a day the other day that like I was literally still in the same clothes I had been in since the day before. I had like no break, and you had been working a lot, and I was just really tired, and I had spit up all over me, and I was just annoyed, in general, not at Remy, just more like at the status of my life. Like I look at myself, I don't recognize myself. I'm selfish. Selfishly, I don't have time to myself, in these days. And of course, what you're saying is valid. Like, yes, we chose to do this. This is what we signed up for. I'm still very happy. I'm glad we did it. But I have days that I'm caught up in my own bullshit. And I'll say to Fran, and he's like, well, like, I love it. And I'm like, that's great, because I just want someone to be like, I know, babe, it's fucking hard, it's fucking hard, and it's great. Instead, he's just like, it's what we signed up for. And I'm like, ugh, you're like a cheerleader. It just annoys me because I just want someone to be like, yeah, I know, I was up all fucking night and he was driving me nuts, and like, that's relatable. Instead, you're just that annoying person that's that like, you're like
you ask me, every time that you ask me is in the daytime. Like, and he wakes up with the largest smile.
Yeah, he's
and
happy.
He will make you forget the shittiest moment that he has put you through.
Yeah.
If you ask me at 3:45 in the morning when he's unconsolable and he doesn't want to go to sleep, you have fed him, you don't know what's wrong with the kid, like you want to literally like shake him down and ask him until he tells you what's wrong.
Yeah, I get why this is going to be a very unfavorable thing to say, but I do understand why like parents with less, like young parents that don't have the emotional intelligence or the patience shake their babies to death because they just don't know what else. They don't know what else to do because they get so frustrated, And you told me, because they tell you in the hospital, and the doctor tells you if you ever get too overwhelmed, lay the baby down. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that baby will cry and cry and cry, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so upsetting and stressful. And you said you had to do that the other night.
I have, but if you ask me in that moment, I can say, fuck this shit. Like, I'm done. But the things that
you laid him down and he was just smiling at you.
You laid him down and he just starts giggling like he's playing at 2 p.m. And he's like, dude, like, you're amazing. And I'm pretty sure you're suffering more than I am suffering because you cannot communicate.
False. He is not suffering. How is that little thing suffering?
Can you imagine a day? Just go a day without being able to communicate.
He's not suffering. He's whining because he feels a little bit of hunger, and he's kicking me in my cesarean scars. I'm giving him a warm lotion massage. He's ungrateful.
The guy thinks that he's not gonna eat ever again. Like every meal is his last meal. Like he thinks that he's a hunter. Like he's like, oh my god, am I gonna find another milk bottle? Is this the last milk bottle? Like he just doesn't know.
Hardly. I don't know. We'll see. I tell myself when I I joke. My jokes with Fran are half serious, right? They're mostly serious. That I want more. Sometimes I want more commiseration over it instead of your chipper behavior. But I do also tell myself when I get frustrated, like I would much prefer you be that way than disinterested, right? Or when we have, like the other day, we decided we got to start feeding him some purees. And so we actually haven't really done a lot of it, but we decided we were going to go veggies first instead of fruits. So he doesn't like acquire this sweet tooth. You know, they recommend vegetables. So I have the little plastic baby spoons, and I read a lot about how babies are supposed to eat. Like you're actually supposed to kind of arm them with 2 spoons and let them play and make a mess to not control it. You know, let them come to the spoon, that sort of thing. Oh, well, he grabs the spoon and he's trying to find his mouth and he's like poking near his eye. And Fran is like, no, I don't like this. He's going to poke his eye out. And I'm like, you are a fun ruiner. Like you're making this not fun. Like, and it really frustrated me because I felt like yes, he may poke himself in the eye with the rubber baby spoon. And that's okay because then he will learn, ow, I'm not going to poke myself in the eye with the baby spoon again. Like, you got to let him explore, because if you protect him from everything.
The kid already has a fucked up head. If he looked like a parrot, his charisma is going to go just that far.
Imagine if we had a girl. You're so overprotective in a way that sometimes it makes these new experiences, you know, not as fun, you know, like how dare I ever consider putting an outfit on him that I hadn't washed yet, you know? And we did in the beginning, we washed everything, but now he has like not sensitive skin. He's had no issues. It's great. And Fran's like, you haven't washed that. I'm like, you are being a fun ruiner. Like, it's okay.
Any complaint you have about that, take it through my compliance department.
But I think that in all seriousness, I do think that, it's a test of the relationship and, you know, like just little things, right? I mean, he decided, like, I have all these woven baskets that are like storage of diapers and stuff like that. And he had a situation the other night in the nursery that I went down there and it looks like a tornado came through the nursery room. The rug is now gone. There is nothing by the diaper changing station. But I go, you know what? Like, you don't want the basket there. And I like the basket, but you don't like it. You find it to be in the way. So that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, we have to just be very like,
you're like, babe, you make a valid point, and I apologize. He does have 2 eyes, so he pokes one out,
and he has extra penis skin thanks to you. So let me fucking have something because you got extra penis skin.
Yes,
like let me have something.
You can have his eye.
I want other body parts because he got extra skin that I didn't want, and so now I get something.
Babe,
you know what? I think it's time for us. No, I think it's time for us to talk about sponsor of the Fitish podcast, BetterHelp. BetterHelp sponsors the podcast, has been a sponsor of the podcast for quite a while. And I think it's very clear from the conversations that Francisco and I have that we like therapy. Sometimes we need therapy. We've needed therapy at different junctures in our life. And the best part about BetterHelp, in my opinion, there's lots of great features, is that it can all be done remotely. I mean, if Fran and I end a podcast today up in arms over something, which has happened in the past, I think y'all know when I've been very tested, you can literally get on your computer and schedule an appointment with a therapist that they've matched you with, right? I mean, you may not be in a relationship. You may be having other life crises, and they will match you with a therapist that, you know, specializes in your immediate needs, usually in as little as 48 hours or less. And again, it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. And there's nothing like, I don't know if any of y'all have done in-person therapy, but getting in that car together as a couple driving to therapy and then having a real heated scenario and then having to go out to the car and drive home together in complete silence. This way, you can avoid all of that. And of course, you know, not having to spend as much money is always a nice thing. So video phone, you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to, if that makes you uncomfortable. You don't even have to see anyone. There is no excuse to not take care of your own mental health. It's really going to help you with your entire life in general. BetterHelp online therapy, you're going to get 10% off your first month when you go to betterhelp.com/Fitish. That's betterhelp.com/Fitish.
That's so funny because, that's just testing. Like when you have a bad session and you already paid $400 on a bad session, and then you leave together and you see a brand new 911 Porsche with vanity plates that are the name of your freaking
Did this happen to you?
therapist. It happens to us. You remember that therapist that we went to see? We had like a bad session and we were leaving, and it was like $400, and she had her Porsche right in front with vanity plates with her last name. He's like, look, I think we just made a payment for that little thing. On top of the whole thing.
I don't recall this experience. And are
Maybe
you
you
calling it bad because she like called you out on a bunch of your bullshit?
Well, I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even defend myself.
Okay. We had a particular therapy appointment that I found very enlightening, and Fran still doesn't agree with me on it. And like the therapist, like he doesn't agree with the therapist. So like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, right? Like, I don't know, like this was that moment where, and I thought it was so fucking accurate. I was like, even though it was accusing you and I both of doing something unfavorable, but I had a realization that I felt it was very true. And she told us at the time that, she could tell that we loved each other very much. However, she felt that we were both living as like kind of, being older when we met and dating, that we were both very stubborn and living very single, selfish, kind of single-mindedly, right? Because I don't know if we've spoken about this very specific scenario before, but we had this period of time that we were really not getting along. It was almost like everything we were fighting about, but I felt that he was being very, like there was a super double standard there, right? Like he was being very critical of certain things I was doing, yet it wasn't applying to himself. And, I'm sure a lot of couples go through this, but our main issue stemmed from you just kind of living in a way that concerned me, like not communicating with me, not calling me, jumping on a flight to go buy our motorcycle at 5 states over, driving it home, just scaring me, that kind of thing. And then like you were very upset that I like you felt that I was dressing too revealing in certain scenarios. And it really pissed me off because I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? I mean, that was my mentality, right? Which I'm not saying that that's accurate. I've changed my tune on this. And it was something for me that I never thought I would change my tune on. But I was so pissed at the time because I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, I am, at the time, I'm like, I'm 35 years old. I buy all my own clothes. Sometimes I dress a certain way. Sometimes I dress like I'm homeless. Like I have all these looks, like, it's never affected, anything I've done with business. Like if some days I want to dress sexier, I was just very frustrated that I felt with my super feminism side that I was like being criticized. But then the therapist explained to me, she was like, Jenna, it's not that, friends trying to criticize you in a way to like take ownership. Like that's what it felt like, that he was trying to like own a body that wasn't his. Cause of course, me, I'm like super stubborn and feisty and was like, no way. But she was like, he wants, I think he's just expressing concern that he would prefer you to not, wear something like that, for other people, if you're going on a date with him, he may be okay with it. And as much as I didn't agree, she made a really good point. She goes, you don't have to understand every time where your partner's coming from. Like, you don't have to understand why he has an issue with it. You don't have to agree. But the fact is, do you love this person? Yes, of course I do. Well, he has a problem with it. And so it doesn't mean, I just thought that was really valuable,
Absolutely.
And she's like, and it was so like awakening for me, because I think a lot of times my experience, I wasn't even planning on going here today, in relationships, is like, we all kind of feel like, well, I should be me. I should be free to be me. This is me. This is who I am. Love it or leave it. Like, fuck off. That was kind of like my reaction. And that was an issue he had with me, is that when we would get in a really bad fight, I'd be like, okay, bye, which I know is a really shitty thing to do, but that was kind of like a defense mechanism. I'd be like, okay, well, like, leave, and I don't know why. I don't know why I would do that. Maybe it's like self-preservation, but it really bothered him. So she explained to us, like, you're living very single-mindedly, like you love each other so much, but you have to be more willing to change things that make you uncomfortable because you love someone and you don't even have to agree with them, but you should be open to like compromising on it. And I loved it. And then of course we leave that session and he's just like, I don't agree. I don't think I live like that. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, you absolutely do. Wanting to travel and last minute and not communicate, like that is when you're a single guy, that's what you do. Go back to it. Get a high-rise apartment. Don't call, don't check in, whatever, but don't be in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Hey, Siri, call BetterHelp.
I'm just filling them in. I'm just filling them in on what happened. I found it very valuable. But apparently all you remember is that it was a terrible session and she had a Porsche with custom vanity plates and I had no idea.
Well, we went like to 5 sessions that same week. And I was
Things were rough.
Anyhow.
I didn't think we were going to be together.
You know.
Look at us now.
Look at us
We're doing amazing.
now.
No, let's get to some questions, though. We like to do questions every week. You can always shoot us an email to info@fitish.com with your questions, or we usually pose these at the beginning of the week on the social media. But someone asks, we can touch base. How's intimacy going? It's not. Well, I'm not pregnant. That's why. We had to pause anyway. Yeah. Because I got like a period from hell. No one really prepared me for that. That was pretty rough. Yeah. It was
like that scene from The Shining. Like,
it was bad. Like, I woke up one morning, it was like a massacre. I was like, oh my God, how did this happen? Yeah.
I'm so glad I sleep with Remy because
you would have been upset.
If I were to like, no, I would be upset if Remy were to be next to you and I see all that, like, I was like,
yeah, I had to throw all the bedding away. So that's wonderful.
It was just white vinegar that we needed.
And then why didn't you do it? See, this is what I mean. You're criticizing something when I tried to do all the laundry. Like, why didn't you fucking do it?
I gave the advice.
Why don't you just do it?
Babe, I cannot do it all.
You don't even do the dishes like you're supposed to do. That was our agreement. I did all the dishes by hand yesterday.
Babe.
We're all anxiously awaiting your response.
Efforts are going to be highly rewarded.
When? In an afterlife that I don't believe in? Or when?
No, when sometime. I don't know. Is this like, that was just something I read in a fortune cookie.
Jenna, update on the incredible charity work you're doing in response to our trash government. These questions. I would not say I'm doing incredible. I'm not doing incredible charity work. I try and do my part, like sometimes kind of quietly, but
It is an incredible job because you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're helping people and helping us move around the closet.
Yeah. I just, I don't want to get into, I know a lot of us feel differently about things going on in the world right now, and it's not really my place. I'm not in a position to like lecture anyone, but I can speak to how I feel. But that's just not who I want to be. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm super educated on certain facets of the government. And so it's not my position to educate. I just occasionally, especially now being a mom, I feel very pulled towards certain issues, right? So if I can help women in need, if I have a lot of baby items to donate to shelters, I have a lot of clothes that I don't wear and I feel ridiculous having all this stuff. I just have decided I want to get rid of it. And usually I just donate it, but I thought, well, it might be very nice to try and raise some money and then donate money, because money can be more valuable than just some clothes. So I appreciate you acknowledging that. I'm just always kind of looking for new opportunities to get back to the community because, like, what the hell else do I have a platform for, right? So I will admit I'm a little frustrated because I did a drive for some women's items, and I don't want to call out this particular charity, but if you live in the Dallas area, it's basically the most commonly recommended one that I've worked with in the past. That when I ask you about shelters that most of y'all would recommend. So, I'll just leave it at that. But I've been very frustrated because I've had these items since May. And I mean, it's, it's a lot of stuff. Like a lot of people brought stuff. It's a whole, trunk load of stuff. And I've just been really discouraged because I think what you realize is some of these bigger, more well-known organizations are so inundated with donations and money that they don't even have the room or the time to take these. And and it makes me feel like personally offended, which I know is a silly reaction, but I just feel like, well, that's upsetting because I know that there's so many women, especially just even in the DFW area where I live, that need this stuff, that need formula, that need diapers. I mean, gosh, now being a mom, realizing how much money I spend on Amazon ordering things, and I'm so fortunate that I'm able to do that. But I can't imagine what it would be like to not, and it would be awful. And I just want to get these items to people that actually need them urgently today. And so that's why I kind of posed that the other day, because I just think that there's probably lots of great people in this city, in this community doing great work, that you get no attention for the shelter that you work at. You get no recognition, no donations just because it's small, but you're actually like very hands-on, making a tangible difference in the lives of a handful of women getting out of situations, or, you know, being forced to have babies, or whatever situation they're dealing with. You know, I want to help them. So that's kind of how I feel, is that, you know, we need to make the best of what's happening right now. So, yeah, I'm always down to hear y'all's feedback or your kind of resources and recommendations that I can kind of shed some light on some deserving charities. So, someone asked, work-wise, how much time do I spend coming up with marketing ideas?
All day.
All day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of y'all realize this, the majority of what I do is just the marketing, right? Like that's kind of what I do all day, every day up here. You know, there's definitely days of bigger decisions being made, but I kind of have a team in place that helps me logistically executing certain things. But most of what I do is just product development, sale ideas, promotions, pop-ups, like all of that sort of thing. And I'm very excited. I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but I think that we're going to start, and we're about to find out after we finish recording our podcast today, because this weekend, this Saturday, we are doing a different kind of pop-up event here. You know, we've been doing pop-up workouts, and I've been trying to figure out a way to offer like virtual tickets to attend the event. So hopefully we can accomplish that, and you can join us this weekend. If you don't live in the DFW area and you've been wanting to work out, or we're doing this cool like facial workout kind of event. And so, you know, when people buy tickets, how do we still gift them product like we do for the in-person attendees and that sort of thing? Because I think it'd be really fun so these events have turned out so fucking fun and so great if you haven't had a chance to come, because they sell out really quickly. But if we could offer virtual tickets, then that would be great.
So they buy tickets and you send them like a swag bag?
Yeah. So the plan is, and again, I'm telling you, I hope, you know, by the time you're listening to this, we have this executed. So, you know, if you're signed up for our newsletter, you will get it and have a chance to sign up, since there is one this weekend. But the way it would work is we would do, you know, as it stands, we usually do 2 workouts, like one Saturday a month, but we sell out of those tickets, right? Because we only have so much room. So when people come, if you haven't gotten to before, it's open to the public to shop, but you'll come to your workout. You always get some sort of swag. It kind of changes depending on the class, a free bag or a free product or something. You always get a discount to shop anything you want after the class that day. Champagne, you know, the whole thing. Like, it's just a fun kind of hangout. We have someone here doing massages, someone doing facials. So this one would be kind of the same. And our hope is that by virtually attending, it wouldn't cost quite as much money because you're not here in person. Like if it's $20, it'll be like $10 to attend virtually, but you'd get to do it from home. And then you would get like a custom link to then go when you buy something on the website at a discount.
So cool.
We could then give you your swag there, and then it'll come with your order. So that's what we're trying to achieve.
That is so cool.
So I hope y'all like that idea. We got a lot of good feedback about y'all wanting to do it virtually. So go check it out and join us. I think it'd be really fun. Francisco, number 1 tip to first-time parents.
Oof.
I didn't prep him for these, sorry.
Number 1 tip, it's just patience. I think just be present. Be present, be in the moment. Try to shut everything else around you off and be within what you're doing, and don't think of what you could have been doing.
I guess it's expectation setting, right?
Yeah.
Just lower expectations. I know that's easier said than done, but I've kind of had to lower expectations out of what I'm able to get out of every day. You know, I don't get as much accomplished at work. I don't do as much as I'd like to around the house, and I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but like, you're never going to get everything done every single day anymore. Not that I really used to either, but like really so much when you have kids, you know, it's just, and I don't want this to come across as negative, but it's almost like lowering your expectations out of your partner as well, like for yourself. And that should apply to your partner too, because if you're expecting less out of yourself, and not in a bad way, but just like, I guess I used to expect like that you would have more attention given to me, affection, attention, time to talk to me. And you don't, because it's not anything personal. You're tired. And a lot of the attention goes to Remy, and you're tired at night. So you want to unwind. And so I think once I've kind of lately started to be like, we just don't have it right now.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't have to have the expectations out of each other.
That expectations for sure. Being present in, like, it's so cliche. Everybody says it goes so fast, but it does go so fast. Be present in that every stage. Because don't be like, oh my God, can you imagine when he walks, or like looking forward for this, or every stage is so unique and amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel so much more low key about having a baby than I thought I would. I mean, my mind's more twisted with like, I hope he doesn't get sick. I hope he's okay, just in life in general.
So by me thinking of losing an eye is sober.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about like little things like that. I've been pretty chill. Like, I don't know. There's just too much to worry about that I don't want to live life that way. I have this underlying anxiety all the time with him as it is, that I'm just trying to be cool about, like, yeah, if he, for instance, like when I give him a bath, you're like, he likes to suck on the towel that I put on him with water on it. And, at first Friend's like, I don't know if that's okay, or is that towel clean? And I'm like, well, yeah, I got it out of the laundry. And like it has some water on it, and he's biting on it, and I think it's okay. Like, I just don't worry about that kind of stuff. And I'm just, because you could worry about a million fucking things every day.
And I think that's something that helps me. Seeing you so chill, and I think we're both chill in certain areas and worried in certain others, but most of the times they're not the same. So it helps us. Like, for me, it helps me see how you are chill with certain things like that, because it's like, she's right. Like I lived in Mexico. Like, I'm pretty sure I sucked on a towel with Mexican water.
Yeah, and who knows what else.
And look how amazingly strong stomach
You've been eating buttholes and soup for I don't know how long. You're fine.
Yeah.
Kind of fine. I mean, you have stomach issues, but like
missing buttholes.
Huh?
What?
Gross. We took Remy to eat the other day, and he ate menudo with no broth. I just don't understand how you do that. Looking at it.
It's amazing.
It looks like insides.
It is insides.
It does. It looks like insides, though. I've never seen anything like it.
But going back, I think we complement each other very well in that regard of our worries.
I'm glad you look at it that way.
And that's
I think that's the tips. Lower expectations. That is our tip. About everything, about your day. You may have a great day planned, and your day may go to shit.
Mine was being present and lower expectations.
Mine's negative. Mine's lower expectations, but that's going to help you, and yours is to be present, which I agree with too. And that was hard for me, because it's like you're rocking them in their room, and you like want to be on your phone, because that's like the tendency that we have, and it's like sometimes just sitting there and you're just staring at a baby. You're like, wow. I mean, that's it. You're just there in the moment, but it's really wonderful once you can kind of start to like get comfortable with doing nothing.
And more interactive. Yeah. So I remember when my mom was around, I was feeding him, and someone texted. I grabbed my phone and tried to put a bottle here, and my mom was like, leave your phone. Yeah. Like, you're not going to have in like a year.
Yeah.
Like take it all in.
I've started doing it. I leave my phone upstairs in the morning for like the hour that I go down.
I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of you, because I've noticed that. And I'm sorry I don't tell you this more often, but I do notice that you're so present now. Like, you're so present when you're with him most of the times. Like, your phone is not even around you. And I know your phone.
Best compliment.
Your phone is like one of your biggest source of income, because that's how you see your business, and that's how you, once again, marketing. And I've seen you like just being there, and I really, really am very proud and very thankful.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you for that public display of affection. I appreciate it. Well, we can get into more business stuff, because a lot of your questions kind of revolve around that. So I don't know if I thoroughly answered that question about marketing, because I could really sit here and do a whole show on like exactly how I plan stuff. I just don't know. Y'all seem to gravitate more towards kind of these conversations about Remy and parenting. And so you please let me know if you want one focused more on building a business and how I've gone about doing this. I'm more than happy to have that discussion. You just let me know. Give us some feedback, info@fitish.com, or DM us on social media. That would be great. We appreciate all the support as always. And yeah, so hopefully I'll see you up here at a Fitish event sometime soon. And thanks for the support.
Thank you for listening.
And I think we're going to be doing another live here soon as well. We'll do a little live together, and we'll probably have to be podcasting from Mexico at the end of the month.
And we have a couple of things coming, like a couple of fun events and fun things coming up. Like
Fran has some ideas.
Yeah.
I told him he has to flush them out before he jumps on here and talks to you about them. So,
but I have one that is going to make you all money.
Yeah, Fran wants to give $1,000 away, and I said, "Who's 1,000?" He's like, "We split it." I'm like, "Okay, this is great. Let's flush out this idea. Let's flush out this idea first.
$1,000.
Maybe next week we'll have it flushed out for you. A big prize for y'all. Okay, all right. We'll see you next week. Bye."